Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the main card fights for UFC Fight Night on ESPN Plus, Andrade versus Zhang. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the main card. So in our first fight on the main card, we have in the women's flyweight division, Yanan versus Mizuki Inoue. So looking at this fight, Yanan is a very young fighter. Inoue is a young fighter. So I think Yanan is about 23 and Inoue is about 2 years older at 25, 26. So looking at Yanan in her last fight, she showed a lot of improvement because her fights prior to that, she looked very sloppy, looked very green, looked very raw. Then in that fight, you saw her striking technique improve, and definitely saw some improvements in her grappling, and she was able to submit experienced fighter as she fought. She was winning on the feet. Then her opponent tried to take her down, got her to the ground. Then she instantly snapped on submission, got that arm bar. So it showed some improvement. She went from looking very raw to showing improvements. That's a very good sign that she can evolve. But looking at this fight, stylistically wise, I don't see Yanan as a takedown artist or fighter that's really going to implement the takedown. Then she's going against Mizuki Inoue, who's been striking for much longer, has a background in striking. So I think this fight's mostly going to play on the feet. I don't think Yanan's takedown offense is going to be enough to really threaten Inoue too much. So I think the fight plays out mostly on the feet. I think it's in Inoue's element. I think though Yanan is showing improvements and rapid improvements at that, I think at this given moment, I think Inoue striking this, you can't really overcome that much in that amount of time, especially with Inoue being a young fighter too. It's not like she's a 35-year-old, 36-year-old fighter, or I don't know, any type of age we kind of say where the fighter's kind of declined. She's still a young fighter and she has that background, so she's also improving very quickly. And I think the fight's going to take place in her element. So I really just feel like Inoue is just going to be the better striker, and that's going to be the real tell of this fight. So in this fight, I have Mizuki Inoue via decision. Now on to our next fight we have in the featherweight division, Zhenhong versus Evolev. So look at this fight. I think they actually fought 3 years ago, and now rematching again. I don't think much has changed. I don't think Zhenhong has accomplished much of anything else. Maybe some improvements here, some improvements there, but level of competition didn't improve that much. Technique didn't really improve that much. I think Mosbar actually improved a little bit more, and plus he had that UFC fight, so he already got his feet wet in the UFC, got a victory. And he's been fighting better competition and been winning. So I just think nothing really changed. Really, that's all I can say for this fight. Nothing much has really changed. And if anything, Evolev has gotten more improved than Zhenhong has. He has seen more improvements. I really see Evolev just putting on a dominant, well, not dominant. Zhenhong is a scrappy fighter, so it's going to be dominant in a way. But I think Zhenhong is going to make it a fight. But it's going to be clear that Evolev is the one controlling the fight, dictating the fight. If anything gets out of control, I think he'll mix in his grappling to kind of slow down Zhenhong and get him off his groove. I think it's going to be kind of like a pretty clear-cut decision. Not dominating per se, but real clear-cut that anyone can tell that it's a fight that he won. So in this fight, I got Mosbar Evolev via decision. Now on to our next fight we have in the flyweight division, Kai Kara-France versus Mark De La Rosa. So looking at this fight, you got Kai Kara-France coming off kind of a questionable victory. You got Mark De La Rosa kind of being Mark De La Rosa. Never really exactly jumping out to you, but he's a solid fighter. Decent enough striking, he's improving on it. Always has solid grappling. But looking at this fight to get to the point of this fight, and Kai Kara-France is just his fight. I think his takedown defense is solid enough to stop De La Rosa. I think as far as we say, who's got a bigger edge in which area, I think Kai Kara-France's edge in striking is much higher than, or much bigger than the edge that De La Rosa has in the grappling. I think Kara-France can scramble if he gets taken down. I think he can more than hold his own on the ground. I'm not saying he's going to be winning there, but you saw in the last fight, even when he got taken to the ground against a grappler, he was able to hold his own, and he was put in some bad positions, was able to get out of them, was able to get some decent positions against a grappler, like a decent level grappler. So Kai Kara-France is no slouch on the grappling. I think with his footwork, his striking, it's going to be too hard to really get these clean shots on him to take him down. Then they're going to feed Kai Kara-France just much faster, much sharper, and definitely packs much more of a punch, more accurate, all those things you would want to look for. I think this foot movement, getting the right angles, he's going to be landing those big shots, tag him up. And I think he stops him early on in third. So in this fight, I got Kai Kara-France via third round TKO. Now on to our co-main event we have in the welterweight division, Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos versus Jingliang, the Leech Jingliang. So looking at this fight, just to get the point of this fight right here, I think that dos Santos is better in every area for the most part than Jingliang. He's certainly on a better streak and certainly been doing much better as of late than Jingliang has been doing. He's really been doing better than most of the roster at welterweight has been doing. He's on a second or third longest winning streak in the weight class right now at 7. So he's definitely been killing it. Yeah, I think dos Santos is doing much better at this moment. Look at his style. I think he's a faster fighter, the more versatile striker, more tools, better submission artist, better grappler. I think really right now he just got everything edge on Jingliang. But what Jingliang does have to present is he has that straight shot. And Dos Santos does a lot of times like to walk in, and he has been caught in the past, like against in the Matt Griffin, like the Max Griffin fight. He was caught about about once or twice in that fight. I think he was dropped at least once in that fight, just off that straight. And Jingliang does have a sneaky straight, especially you get overconfident, over aggressive. And a lot of times when you see in these fights with Jingliang, he might start off having a rough patch in the fight, but then when the opponent gets too like cocky, then they have him all set up. And he starts to catch him with that straight, starts to turn the tide of the fight. He starts to land his teep kick, and all that stuff starts to go into motion when his opponent starts to get overconfident, like they start coming in on a straight line, and he has his success. And Dos Santos does have a tendency to do that, which is a window of opportunity for Jingliang. But other than that, I think that Dos Santos, he's been cracked before, but I don't think he's ever been stopped in the UFC. He's good at recovering. Like I said, he's good off his back. I think Jingliang will be able to take him down, control him, even if he rocks him. I think Dos Santos is good at getting sweeps and getting back to his feet. So I think for the most part, the volume of Dos Santos, the forward pressure, the mixing and versatility is going to kind of at least not make him so susceptible to the straight, because Jingliang going to have to worry about multiple tools coming out, worry about kicks, getting his legs chewed, and there's different things, flying knees. You got to worry about the explosiveness of Dos Santos. You know, he might be coming in a straight line. He'll hit you from a whole rack of different levels, low, high, mid, flying knee. But yeah, hit you from multiple angles. He's a very dangerous fighter, very unpredictable, explosive, technical, a truly scary fighter in this weight class. So to get to the point of this prediction right here, like I said, I think Jingliang's really opportunity lies in Dos Santos getting too cocky or getting too, sloppy, like getting too sloppy and getting off his technique and just trying to go for explosive activities or just trying to run through him. If he respects him in this stage comic pose, I think this is Dos Santos' fight to lose. But other than that, I think he can mix it up and pretty much beat Jingliang in every area. But I don't think it's going to be no easy fight. Jingliang is never an easy fight for anyone. He's going to be always being there. He's going to be scrapping. And I think Dos Santos is not a fighter that's been used to easy fights. He's been in a lot of scrappy fights to get to where he's at. And he's going to be ready for it. It's going to be a scrappy fight. Probably might be fight of the night. Matter of fact, looking at this fight, this probably is the one that will be fight of the night. Just looking at it. Outside of maybe the main event. I think this is what might be the fight of the night. But yeah, I think he's better everywhere. I think he's going to be prepared for those gritty parts of the fight. And other than that, I think he's technically the better fighter. So I think it's a real competitive firefight that somehow makes it to a decision. But I think Dos Santos wins the fight clear. So in this fight, I got Elizeu Zaleski Dos Santos via decision. Now to our main event, we have in the women's strawweight division, Jessica Andrade versus Weili Zhang. This will be the first title defense of Andrade's strawweight title, or women's strawweight title. Just won it recently against Rosa Namajunas, so now she's a champion. Now she's getting a pretty quick turnaround to defend her first belt. So defend her belt for the first time. That's a better way to say it. So looking at this fight, Weili Zhang is certainly a scary prospect, or she's not even a prospect no more. She's a contender. She's a title challenger. So even after this fight, she's already going to be a veteran after this fight, because she's made it to the highest she can make it, whether win or lose. If she wins the belt, she reached the peak. And if she loses, then she was right at that peak. So no longer a prospect, beyond a contender, a title challenge. She's a true talent challenger because she's in this position. But yeah, to get to the point is, I think Weili Zhang, very solid fighter, a lot of power, some real dangerous teep kicks, very good at controlling the range. But not really the best lateral motion, I would say. Like she don't really have like a boxer type of style where they could move angles and cut and be slick and stuff like that. She'll keep the distance. She'll do some hard strikes. She might move a little bit here and there, especially like to keep the distance with her teep kick, which is very powerful and can take the wind out of you. Like some people have teep kicks that really just tap, and her teep kick digs into your what am I trying to say? It digs into your gut basically. I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm trying to say something deeper, but it digs into your gut. Like she's very good at that, and that could knock the wind out of you. She's very dangerous with that. Some hard strikes, really underrated grappling game, some hard ground and pound. She's the full package. But what I think in this fight, I don't think she is kind of a little bit too soon for her to have this fight. I might be wrong. She might be win. She might win the fight, but in my opinion, I think it's kind of a too soon of a jump from. She beat Tisha Torres, and she beat I just take the name, I'm forgetting right now, Jessica Aguilar. Jessica Aguilar really not a fight that will get you anywhere near a title shot at all. Wouldn't even get you a top 5 spot. Matter of fact, I don't think Jessica Aguilar is top 10, so that fight not really much of anything. Maybe for Aguilar's legacy, that's a good win. To beat Aguilar, given her legacy, is a big win, but not really much of anything else outside of that. And Tisha Torres is looking seemingly fading, so it's kind of a jump fight. But beating Tisha Torres still is a good win, but is it a title shot worthy win? I don't think so, especially just taking her to a decision. She was clear-cut the winner, but was it really truly dominating? No. And she had a hard fight with the other chick too, so she really hasn't had a truly impressive performance, like a truly dominant, just finishing and the full package victory, except over Aguilar, who's not even top 10. So it's kind of a jump. Then going against Jessica Andrade, who's been proven at 135 and at this weight class, former title challenger, and then now champ. So she challenged for the title twice at this weight class, 1-1, lost one. But yeah, look at this fight, how they stylistically, I think Zhang certainly has the power to gain Andrade's respect. She certainly has a style that can cause Andrade issues. But Andrade is like a mini tank at his weight class. I don't think she has the power. I don't think Zhang possesses the power to stop Andrade in her place. And if so, not for very long. I think Andrade can take her in the grappling areas, whether she be more technical than Zhang or she just really more so be a physical tank that Zhang won't have enough grappling expertise over her, or grappling advantage over her to really deal with. Like she'll be just flipping her around, toss her around. She'll try to do something technical and then just get hawk strength thrown around. And like I said, Andrade is not no slouch in the grappling. She has some solid grappling. And plus she has that hawk strength at this weight class. She was even a hawk at 135. So she's a super hawk at this weight class. And the chick's punches really don't even phase her. She'd be taking flying knees, head kicks like they're gumballs. So I think, like I said, when about to back to the foot lateral motion, she doesn't really have lateral motion to really keep her off her for very long. So I think it might be good early. Like you see some of these fights in the past, like I think was her fight against Teacher Torres, where Andrade kind of struggled to catch Teacher Torres early, but then the fight slowed down. That was just a 3-round fight. She was eventually able to catch her, and then you can't run from her for very long. Even if you have some decent lateral motion, you need a whole lot to really keep her in place, and you got to be very consistent with that. You can't gas even a little. And I think Zhang can really keep that pace, and I definitely don't think she even had the lateral motion to keep Andrade from getting in and on like in on the inside on her, landing those punches to the body, landing those big shots, and then doing those manhandle hawk tactics. But I do think Zhang puts on a good performance from the first fight, like first couple rounds early, whether she's winning these couple early rounds, like the first 2 rounds, or it's competitive, or she's losing by a slight margin. But I think as the fight goes on, I think Jessica Andrade just gets stronger as the fight goes on. And then just gets stronger. She can't run for long, and those big heavy shots of Andrade's gonna wear on her. That physical strength that she's gonna be putting on, Zhang's gonna wear on her. I don't think she's really been in that type of fight. As a matter of fact, she hasn't even been to a fight in that fight like that close, whereas Andrade has already fought people that can present an issue to her multiple times. She fought what's called Joanna Young Jade chick. She lost the fight, but she was game the whole fight. Then she fought Rosa Namajunas, another fighter who was trying to jab her up, move around, stick and move. So she fought fighters that's gonna want to do that. I don't think Zhang gonna go out there and try to go toe to toe with her, and I don't think she's gonna win that type of fight. Zhang's gonna try to fight on the outside, maybe mixing it outside, like some counters, but I don't think nothing Andrade has not seen. That's basically what I'm saying. Nothing Andrade has not seen, where Zhang has never experienced anything like a fighter like Andrade, or a fight that Andrade is going to put on her. So I think really in this fight, like I said, early on she will be good, but as the fight goes on, Andrade is going to get stronger and stronger, and she's not going to be able to keep up with that pace. She's not going to keep up with that physical strength, keep up with that physicality. I think Andrade gets on the inside, wears her down as the fight goes on. Then his third fight, like there's like the third, fourth, fifth round, like those, if it even makes it to the fifth round. Matter of fact, I'm going to end in the fourth, like third round. She's not going to really be moving much. She's going to be in there to be hit. And then you can't be there to be hit against Andrade. I think she breaks her down, starts to take her down, ground and pound her. I think she gets that TKO in the mid portion of the fourth round. So in this fight, I have Jessica Andrade via 4th round TKO. And that concludes my fight predictions for the main card of UFC Fight Night on ESPN Plus, Andrade versus Zhang. And as always, thanks for watching.